India and Norway share close relationship. There have been number of engagement between the two sides. With me is the Norwegian envoy to talk about this substantive relationship between the two countries. And amidst the COVID pandemic, your country reached out to India, provided support, and there is a cooperation against the COVID crisis as well, which is underway. If you can give us details about this cooperation as well about the support you gave to New Delhi.
Both Norway and India has been quite hard hit by the pandemic. Actually, it has hit us all globally. And both India and Norway has important roles when it comes to combating the pandemic. India has an important role as a vaccine producer, and Norway consistently for more than 20 years has been working to provide and distribute vaccines to developing countries through the Gavi cooperation. This was prolonged into COVAX, which is about providing vaccines through multilateral channels.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So then, and we actually have a co-chairship in accelerating the activities against COVID.
Mm-hmm.
So that's some of the backdrop.
Mm-hmm.
Then comes particularly when the second wave hit,
mm-hmm.
because then we already had from our side, from embassy side, we had reallocated funds from other health programs like our Mother Health program
mm-hmm.
to combat COVID within the framework of this institution that was established.
Mm-hmm.
And we also then reallocated resources from our general programs and additional resources from Norway to the tune of 8 million kroner.
Mm-hmm.
And also Norwegian businesses took up then the challenge, felt the need to show the solidarity and presence where they had the activities, mm-hmm. and provided about 12 million kroner and also in-kind contributions, mm-hmm. mostly local where they're active. Mm-hmm. So that's a part of the picture. In total, when it comes to COVAX, we have committed 5 million doses and $141 million. Mm-hmm. So that's in the total. Mm-hmm. So this is a part of the backdrop. Two countries having important roles in combating the pandemic.
Mm-hmm. So a lot of cooperation between the two sides which is underway. But talking about the current global restrictions, there are of course restrictions when it comes to travel of people. If you can talk us about if Indians can go to Norway, because a lot of Indians are in Norway in various industries. If you can point on that as well, the Indian skilled workforce, how it is helping in Norwegian economy.
Well, first about the travel. To be quite frank, just now it's very difficult. Norway has been quite strict in allowing the travel in, not just for foreigners, but also for us. It's we have restrictions when going back and forth. We see there's a plan to actually lift that, and you may access if you have a family, if you have relations. And now we're preparing for Indian students who are supposed to start at the Norwegian universities this autumn. Mm-hmm. We hope that we'll be able to raise the restrictions as soon as possible, but for the time being, it's quite regulated. Mm-hmm. And that poses a lot of problems, because Indians is this biggest immigrant immigrant group in Norway outside the EU. Mm-hmm. And those are very important in Norwegian high-tech industries. Mm-hmm. So we have high competence workers from India helping us in developing our economy, mm-hmm. of which we are very grateful.
Mm-hmm. So Nordics, and specifically Norway, is known for green technology and green cooperation. If you can give us the details, how your country is taking a lead when it comes to fighting the challenge of climate change, and also cooperation with India, how you are helping when it comes to the green cooperation with New Delhi.
Well, first I want to go one step back. In spite of the pandemic, we've been able to enhance our cooperation with India. And for instance, in October last year, we were able to hold a government meeting, the Joint Commission, digitally going through a huge area of fields of cooperation. And the Minister of External Affairs Jaishankar maybe summed it up in a very nice way. Our partnership is green, clean, and human-centric. So that brings us to what our priorities in that respect: ocean, climate, energy. And when it comes to energy, we're into hydroelectrical power, we're into wind power. Actually, the Norwegian Investment Fund for Developing Countries just invested $100 million in rooftop solar in India. But what we here at Embassy focus the most on now is hydrogen, as this is a very rapid developing field which is very promising, and where Norway has a century-old tradition in production and know-how. So, and where India now has defined hydrogen as one of the areas that they will give priority to provide clean energy. And and for instance, the Norwegian company Greenstat has kind of made an agreement with Indian Oil to establish a center of excellence for hydrogen. And we're going to have the International Climate Summit linked to hydrogen in September, organized by the PhDCC. So we have, there is a clear emphasis on the green energy, on the clean energy, renewable energy, and that will be, and we have still a huge potential in that area. But I want to stress our priority number one is the oceans, and that's.
I was coming to that point on the oceans. Your priority number one. India is also focusing on that. In fact, India is hosting under its UNSC presidency a maritime meeting at the United Nations Security Council, where the Indian Prime Minister will also be addressing and chairing the meeting. How do you see this cooperation ranging, and what kind of practical cooperation is happening between the two countries on this specific sector?
Well, first, I will say that we really appreciate that India took this initiative during its presidency to put emphasis on maritime security. This is a theme that deserves being discussed, and we hope there will be a result that we can use as a building block to improve the maritime security in all these aspects. Then in that process, we are discussing what we can do with the Minister of External Affairs, with the Minister of Shipping, with the DG Shipping. We haven't been so much into direct security-wise as the economic part of it, the blue economy. And as I said, we're able to have a task force and blue economy meeting in June, where we actually were able to further our projects on cooperating on integrated ocean management, which means how you actually wisely use your blue resources. We've been pushing forward when it comes to marine litter, when it comes to plastic, when it comes to ship recycling, where actually India has a huge capacity. Norway has a huge fleet which needs to be recycled, but it needs to be done in a sustainable and green manner. So there's and of course I forgot to mention the research part, which is a very important part of the cooperation between India and Norway, where ocean research and Arctic research are places where we have very close relations.
So now coming on to the regional developments, Afghanistan is dominating the agenda, whether it's here in New Delhi, whether it's in Europe, whether it's in your country. How do you see the situation in Afghanistan, how your country can support amidst the increased violence by Taliban, and also how do you see India's role in Afghanistan?
Well, first I have to say that we are very concerned about the development in Afghanistan. Norway has been engaged in Afghanistan for 20 years diplomatically, with development aid and militarily. And we have been working consistently for a political and peaceful solution, and we continue to do that. And in this respect, the contact with India has been crucial. But we face difficulties for both of us. Afghanistan is not bordering our countries, and there are a number of in a number of developments we don't have control over, but we need to continue that dialogue and continue that cooperation to try to push a peaceful and political solution in Afghanistan.
So my last question to you, even though you are the envoy to Delhi, it's about China. There is a lot of worry here in Delhi about China's aggressive actions. What is your government's view about China, its role in Asia and the wider world?
Well, first, let me point out again, Norway is a country far away from India and China. The big picture is that you have a growing importance of both China and India. The point of gravity in international politics is moving eastwards. This creates challenging, as we see with a stronger and more assertive China. And it creates also opportunities. And to develop those opportunities, that's one of the reasons why the Norwegian government in 2019 developed an India strategy. Because India has becoming more and more important for Norway. We need to actually relate more to India, cooperate more with India. And that's my task, that's my mandate, to implement that strategy for improved relations and improved cooperation. This is linked to the areas I mentioned, ocean, climate, energy, but also to international, to the rule of law and democracy. And in this respect, our Cooperation and Security Council is very important, and we really appreciate it.
Well, thank you so much, sir, for speaking to WION. It was an excellent interview. So there you have it, the Norwegian envoy speaking to WION on a number of issues, whether it's the COVID crisis, whether it's Afghanistan, and how both countries are working together on issues like green sector, also on maritime sector as well. With video journalist Neeraj Patel, Siddhant Sibal for WION in New Delhi.